Tuesday, January 16th, 2024. This is the Best Wrestling Podcast, talking about the best wrestling show with the best wrestling hosts out there. I'm Glenn, joined by Issa. And tonight we're going to talk about NXT. Heck of an entertaining show tonight. So good. So
much fun. I cannot wait to talk about a couple of things. There was points in this show in which I was in tears, Glenn.
Yeah, if this was your first episode of NXT, like this was just a showcase for how fun and random and how they can just pull off great stuff in the ring and out of it. I was worried by the time we got done with the entrances we saw and they got to that woman's battle royal for the number one contender. I was like, oh, this is going to be kind of short. And then no, we had the overrun, right. The fatal four-way absolutely slapped that it turned into at the end. There was a lot of good stuff.
So good.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah. The tag matches were good in the Dusty Classic. A little predictable, but we still got bangers out of them.
And some fun surprises tonight. Some stuff I didn't think was going to happen. So that we thought was going to happen didn't happen. It was interesting. Do we have any news? Is there anything going on? I know Cora Jade that they talked about tonight was injured over the weekend, going to be out for perhaps up to a year with a torn ACL.
ACL. God. She just came back. I'm actually heartbroken for her. I wish her a fast recovery. This torn ACL bug going on in the women's division of NXT. Yeah. What is happening? Like it keeps to be a thing. I also heard about Seth, but nothing has really been confirmed. But out of last night's episode of Raw, there was some news that he might be injured on one of his knees. I kind of caught it at the end of the show, but allegedly he's to get an MRI, so we still don't know how bad it is or if it's something minor. But that would be a big blow for Seth Rollins to go down with a major injury during this time of the year, which is what I call the wrestling playoffs. Like Royal Rumble season is what starts everything up to WrestleMania. So we'll see, but sending all my prayers and fast recovery wishes to Cora Jade, and hopefully there's nothing wrong with Seth, but we'll see.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, this year, pretty much it's been, normally we're at a simmer going into the Royal Rumble. It's been at a boil since CM Punk came back. We've been in WrestleMania season.
Wrestling is very hot right now. And the thing that I like about it right now is that if we have to go through an injury, they have a lot of people that are main event players that can step up. And that's always awesome too. You know what I mean? Like if somebody needs to take some time off. There was a period of time there a couple of years ago where you were like, well, who's going to step up? Now there's plenty of people that can step up if that was the case. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Wrestling feels hot right now. This is probably a very terrible time to get injured.
Yeah, no, I hope everyone's okay. Sad for Cora. I hope Seth is all right. We did not see Nikita Lyons in that Battle Royal tonight. Now, we also didn't see Jason Jane.
I got a Nikita t-shirt. I had it ready to go, put it on to support my girl, but she was not in the Battle Royal. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, I know in storyline they did a spot last week with Blair working the knee. Hopefully nothing is developed there. She was advertised for tonight originally up until today. But, JC also wasn't in that match. Tiffany Stratton, who I'm pretty sure is done with NXT and going to be on the main roster come the Royal Rumble. Like, it was interesting. But I think that, the question is, for Vengeance Day, spoiler to the finish tonight, Roxanne Perez versus Lyra Valkyria. It's going to be very interesting to see where that goes. I think Cora was going to get that spot. I think that was the original plan. And with Roxanne, I have to say, I mean, I think with Cora, it still would have been like, oh, who's going to win? But for Vengeance Day, like, yeah, who knows? And it's interesting that that's going to be a PLE, not a TV special.
Right. I thought it was going to be, I'm shocked that they're doing it the weekend after the Rumble, but I also kind of like appreciate it. But, since they do stand and deliver WrestleMania weekend, I thought they should do this one on Royal Rumble weekend, but it seems to be happening the weekend after, which is okay.
Yeah. And on a
Sunday.
But
I like when the NXT PLEs like fell together on that same weekend. It just feels special.
Yeah. And they're doing it on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I like my PLEs on a Sunday.
Do you? I like them on Saturday.
Interesting. I think Saturday night,
I like my WWE ones on Saturday, or like the big ones, right? Because if you're going to a Mania, you're still going to get it on a Sunday night. But NXT, I'm okay with that being on a Sunday because their PLEs have been very good with time. They're not long, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
We'll
see.
After that one, we got Elimination Chamber. That's gonna be a fun one to figure out the times, Glenn.
Now, Meltzer and other people pointed out Roman is not booked for that. So if you think
why would he be? I tell you this.
I didn't say that. I didn't say he was. Everyone else, I think they're like, oh, Australia's going to spend KSA money for The Rock so they can have this match. And The Rock might show up there to hype this match, but this match is not this match is happening at WrestleMania 40.
If it happens.
Yeah. If it happens.
Yeah.
You're the only person that doesn't think this match is happening.
You really think I'm going to trust The Rock? After he couldn't breathe after one wrestling move the other day. I mean, if he's working on it, that's good, right? He's going to get smashed by Roman when the match happens, if it happens. I want it to happen. But, Glenn, we've had this conversation multiple times. I never set myself up for disappointment, so I'm not going to sit here in my brain think that the match is going to happen, and that if it doesn't happen, I will be mad. So I will tell myself it's not happening. And that way, if it doesn't happen, I don't get upset. You see how easy it is to not fantasy book yourself into getting angry at something that nobody has told you is going to happen?
So in your world of disappointment, who do you think Roman's facing at WrestleMania then?
Man, the match that I always wanted for Roman this WrestleMania, and this isn't because I don't want Cody, it's because I always thought that it would be a better, if I could have it my way, it would be a Bloodline Fatal 4-Way. Jay, Jimmy, Solo, and Roman. I think that's how it should have ended with them. Because the Bloodline doesn't feel the same anymore. It hasn't in a long time. So I feel like to put a nice big bow on it, like we should all go at it.
So in your world of never wanting to be disappointed and always assuming the worst, then shouldn't you always assume Roman is going to lose this match?
Roman has never disappointed me. So no, I would not assume that. That's the one person that I as a matter of fact, I get on my knees, Glenn, and I pray. I pray to Roman Reigns and Bad Bunny, the two individuals that do not let me down.
Okay. Everyone else has.
Yeah.
But, I'm just saying, when you need something from me, I feel like I come through.
You do come through. You actually have never let me down, Glenn.
There you go.
Should I start praying to you too?
Ooh, that would be interesting.
No, Glenn, you're actually up there, MVP. In my circle is like this big. You're in the circle, Glenn. You're in the circle.
I feel you. Well, let's talk about NXT now. We opened with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams versus Inoue and Blade in a first-round match for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
It was as good as it was predictable.
Yeah.
And I mean that as a compliment. We all knew Trick and Melo were going to move on, but I thought everybody just showed off. They gave this match so much time, and everybody got their moves in. I am a big fan of Team Melo and Trick as a tag team. I really like them.
This was a good match. I think Inoue and Blade got a chance to show off. I think if
they were so good. I wish I would get a tag team name that I could pronounce, because I can't pronounce their names.
Inoue
and
Malik Blade.
Malik Blake. I can pronounce that one.
Yeah. Okay. It's fine.
But anyways, I thought they looked great.
Yes. Yeah, I think if Melo and Trick implode, it would be interesting if it happens at Vengeance Day.
Oh, they're gonna
implode during their match, allowing the Wolf Dogs to win. And then
so I cannot wait to talk about the Wolf Dogs.
I know, Wolf Dogs. But yeah,
I cannot wait to talk to Flomo about more wolves in NXT.
Oh, I know.
He's gonna love it.
Yes. So good opening match of the show, Carmelo and Trick winning, kind of predictable. But then we got to hear from Obafemi, our new North American champion.
Killing it.
Yeah,
Killing it. Oh my God. They are putting the spotlight on the right person, and he's grabbing this opportunity by the horns, Glenn. I thought that he looked great in the breakout tournament. I thought that giving him the title just like that was good. I like that they put him in the North American Championship to give him time to but he came out today looking like a star.
Absolutely.
All the room, the crowd loved him. Like, I was like, they are making a star, and this kid is 22 years old. Like, if this goes right, which I feel like it's gonna, because he's owning it,
yeah,
he has years left to entertain us.
Yeah, this was really good. But man, Dragon Lee looked pretty thirsty out there, coming out there
He
like
ruined the
begging for a
moment. He
rematch.
not killed it. He killed everybody's boner. Like we're
Yeah.
all happy. We got a new champ. And then here comes Dragon Lee to kill the moment. The
Who I
boner
felt
killer.
was on SmackDown. Yes, Dragon Lee, the boner killer. That's a good name for a move. That when you wrestle Issa, that should be
killer.
that should be
That's
your
my
finisher.
I'm
The boner
writing that
killer.
down.
Yeah.
It's written down. It's written down.
Okay.
But that's what Dragon Lee music like hit sounded like. I was like, why are you here?
Yeah.
And that, what was that outfit? Was he wearing PJs? And did you notice that the like, I don't know if it's supposed to be sparkly, but it looked like dandruff.
First, normalize wearing PJs in public. That's what I say. But no, I think
PJs. I wouldn't be opposed to that. But a lot of them are probably not. I shouldn't be wearing them in public.
Yeah.
They're probably not even called PJs. Anyway, sorry.
Yes. Oba was great though. But Dragon Lee wants the open challenge brought back. I like it. You should bring back the open challenge so I can accept the open challenge.
You know what I really like when like he's like begging him for the chance and this and that, and Oba was like, no. I was like, yes, like let's go. I really I didn't mind him, but I really like seeing him come out and speak. And you and I have had conversations throughout the last few weeks about people not being able to own that live in-ring promo, and he did great tonight.
Well, and I gotta say, the crowd tonight, I think they took our notes. Issa, because the crowd tonight was phenomenal tonight. And I didn't see people on their phones. Like the crowd tonight showed up.
Yeah, they had a couple of really inventive chants. They were chanting for Oba. They were chanting the women's, and the main event had everybody's attention. I really enjoyed it, and we'll get into that later. But the crowd was really in a good mood tonight, and that really can change how a show goes.
Yeah, this tonight, everybody was firing on all cylinders. I want to say this was like A-level NXT.
I would too, but I did think that there was a handful of things in there that felt a little filler-ish to me.
Sure, but I was not bored at all.
Agreed.
During the show. Every segment delivered on some level for me. Like this backstage with Trey Bearhill and Eddie Thorpe hanging out, and then Dijak coming in and getting into it with Bearhill. That was exciting. And I liked how that built up to the match.
Was that exciting?
Yeah, I like seeing it. Honestly, I think it's really cool to me that they have two indigenous members of the roster with like making that part of their character identity with Trey and Eddie. And I like that they were able to talk backstage.
I guess that was cool when you look at it from that perspective.
I mean, it's just, I thought it was really, really well done. And I like Trey Bearhill's look. He's got that kind of old school wrestling physique. And I think Eddie Thorpe, I really like Eddie Thorpe. And with Dijak, it's like Dijak and Eddie cannot get far enough away from each other. Like they're all like magnets. Well, the Hard Justice, he's out there. Did they drop that? We haven't heard Hard Justice in a while.
Yeah, I haven't heard that in a while. No,
I think somebody finally pulled HBK aside and was like, you know what that sounds like, right? You got to watch out for Issa's move, the boner killer, because the Hard Justice is going to crumble.
Wait, we didn't see GM Ava tonight.
Yeah. Actually, it was interesting. But we saw JBL. What the heck was up with that? We'll talk about
Why
that.
Though?
He's just passing through on the way to, collect the rent for one of his condos or many properties in the area, I'm sure. Wouldn't that be funny if JBL just bought a bunch of condos to rent out to NXT developmental talent?
Yeah. And he gives them deals, but imagine like he's friends with HBK, so he knows when they get a raise. So as soon as they get a raise, rent's going up. Like that's his gimmick. He raises the rent every time they make a little bit more money.
I just want to make this 1,000% clear. I have no inside knowledge, nothing to confirm this whatsoever. But now Issa, in my mind, absolutely JBL is an NXT slumlord. Like,
finally, try to tell us about this, Glenn.
Yes, he's using his. Yes, that's an interesting angle. But yes, he's using his inside knowledge to rent out like condos to NXT talent.
These NXT talent, they get a tiny cut from their merch, and JBL be like, "Oh, rent's still."
And the NXT lawyer can take him to court because JBL refuses to fix things that are wrong.
Oh my god. Then they start a union. The NXT lawyer gets a union going.
Oh God. One day we're writing for this show. But then we had Lyra and Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley stole some of Lyra Valkyria's gear to wear for this match.
Did she not give you R-Truth vibes? Did you see R-Truth come out with Judgment Day yesterday?
No, I didn't see that.
So Judgment Day was making their entrance, and R-Truth was just like a few feet behind them the entire time because he's part of Judgment Day, you know. So when she came out dressed like Lyra, it popped me. I don't know what this is about, but I popped big for that part where I'm like, are they wearing the same thing?
It was great. This is better. Ooh, maybe she ends up interfering in that title match of Vengeance Day. Tatum.
You think so? But to cost Lyra or to like help her?
I think, well, in wrestling, what we've seen is when you try and help somebody, I'm making air quotes for the audio listeners, when you try and help somebody, sometimes it backfires.
Right.
And costs them the match. Yeah, so I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with this. But then before the match, we had Carmelo and Trick backstage, and Dragunov walked in. Dragunov's okay.
He's alive.
He's cleared. Vengeance Day, it's happening.
Yeah, Dragunov said, hey, I'm sorry that they will not clear me. And I thought we were going to get an aneurysm. I was like, calm down. You're going to freaking get hurt again. But he told Trick that their match, he knows you've been waiting. I'm sorry I let you down. I think your match will happen in a big stage. And he said, the next PLE. What is it called, Glenn? Because I can't pronounce it.
Vengeance Day.
Vengeance Day. Vengeance. I got it. Vengeance Day. We're going to face each other. So Trick is mad hyped. And Melo is like, what do you mean? Because obviously they make it to the finals, which, spoiler alert, they probably will. Oh, yeah. They have to wrestle that day.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting for Trick. We'll see what happens. But then we had Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley versus Lola Vice and Elektra Lopez.
Yeah, before the drama. Yes. But this was fun.
This was a great, and I loved how Paxley stole that pin.
Yeah, I mean, she was passed out. She got knocked out, literally, and fell on top of, who did she pin? Elektra, right? Yeah, fell on top of Elektra, and it was a 3 count. I thought it was creative.
Yeah, this was a really fun match. But with Tatum and Lyra Valkyria, I think this is going to be interesting to see how this unfolds over the next 2 weeks and then into Vengeance Day. But this was a fun match.
It was. I have fun watching this. A lot of women featured tonight on the show. You love to see it.
Oh my God, yeah, and we'll talk about that some more. But then we had Ridge Holland versus Joe Coffey with Gallus tonight, and Ridge getting the win.
This is one of the ones I thought you felt a little filler.
We're gonna just pretend the Ridge Holland storyline doesn't exist right now.
Okay, but even if we pretend the storyline doesn't exist, I just didn't think there was a point for this match.
Yes, I mean Ridge is trying to redeem himself after the terrible luckies.
We can't pretend the story doesn't exist if we're going to talk about him redeeming himself. Right? It was a good match. It was a solid match. It's just, I just don't feel like Gallus has ever clicked. And I don't know that this does anything to help them. I don't think they clicked in the past, not even when they were tag team champions. And now this also doesn't do anything. Like, I don't know what you need to do for Gallus because they're so talented. And I see them in the ring and I really think I like them. But something about them in this like version of NXT has not fully clicked, and this just doesn't help.
The problem is that Gallus is in that Brawling Brutes, Viking Raiders slot. Yeah, and you know that WWE has an affection for that style of hard hitting, like big guy wrestling, but then it's typically booked in poor storylines with weird presentation. It's tough. It's a tough slot to be in. You know, it just occurred to me, we didn't see a lot of the usual commercials on NXT tonight.
I know.
Did you notice that?
I saw that. Yeah.
No BK Have It Your Way song. I don't think Domino's was offering me an emergency pizza.
No, there was a lot of Pizza Hut tonight, though. And now they're doing that commercial for that machine that you have to buy, and it's like $300. But you have to cook your own pizza. What? No. Why would I do that, Glenn?
I want one. If I decide to just give up on life, like I'd buy a home pizza kit for the backyard. I started making pizza dough one summer, and I found like a really good recipe to make it at home. Putting like beer in the crust and we gained I gained 30 pounds in 2
Pizza
months.
is just something that you order. If I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna cook a home meal, like pizza is not what comes to mind to me.
But
You know
if
what I
you
mean? Like
get to making it well, it's fun.
Okay, your version of fun and my version of fun are way different.
No, I'm with you. It's work, and you have to like roll out the dough. But when I got into doing it with the beer crust, and by the way, find any pizza dough recipe and just add like half a can of like cheap beer to it, and it'll eat the sugar and make it really interesting.
Really?
Yeah, it makes the crust so much more flavorful.
Okay.
Like shocking. But no, I got really into that for like a summer.
Well, I'm still not getting that machine.
Yeah, I want that machine. The machine I want though, they sell it in India, not in the US. There's a machine that makes roti bread, like Indian flatbread.
Yeah.
And like you just put the flour and water in, and then it does the rest. It spits out the dough and flattens it and cooks it. Like I want that because I would just eat roti all the
here
time.
in Puerto Rico, we have like panaderias in like every corner, which they make the freshly made bread every day, and like they have the different styles of bread, and you just go and buy it. So it's like, I don't think making bread is something that I ever wanted to do, because I can just go down the street and buy it for $2, made today, still hot. Sometimes like you will send people, this is a true story, you send like dads, for example, to buy the bread, and then when they come home, like half of it is gone because they've been eating it the entire time when they're coming back.
As a kid, I think when I first like started to gain weight and got heavy, it was like my allowance would be $1 after school. My dad worked at the local synagogue, and we would go hang out there, and he'd be like, here's $1 right near a shopping center. And I remember one day it was like, I'm just buying a loaf of freshly made bread, and I just sat there and ate it. Like no dipper. I just ate an entire loaf of French bread as like a 9-year-old child.
I remember when my nephew's wife came to visit, and we were gonna like bring some for my mom so we could get sandwiches in the morning, like breakfast sandwiches. We ended up buying 2 of the bread up because we knew we were gonna pick at it on the drive there. So we're like, let's get one that we won't touch, and then one that we can just destroy.
Bread is so good.
There was an earthquake in Puerto Rico. I didn't feel it. I'm very bad at feeling earthquakes. After you live in New York for so long and you get used to the subway and it always shakes underground, like you don't feel those things. Like, this is a true story. You just think, oh, the train's going by, even though we don't have underground trains.
So we could do an entire podcast on bread and various bread
products. Or earthquakes.
Yes. Let's talk about Baron Corbin being interviewed backstage to be interrupted by Braun Breaker.
Oh my God, I can cry. This was so good, Glenn.
And Braun Breaker proclaims that the Wolf Dogs are going to win the Dusty Cup.
What did you call us? What did you just call us?
Yes, the Wolf Dogs, which he thought of in the shower, which made Baron Corbin very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. It's so good. The thing of it is like Baron Corbin is really coming off as himself here, because I'm the kind of person that'll be like, why are you thinking about me in the shower? Like, that is something that I would say in a conversation. He came off legitimate, and I like seeing Braun kind of like the idea that they're attacking, but he would like, he comes out and he's like, oh no, I'm the one who got us the win, you know. And the backstage interview was great here, which was like, I'm supposed to be unbiased, but you're both a-holes. The Wolf Dogs, we need a shirt immediately. Yes. I need merch. I need everything. I want them to win the Dusty Cup Classic.
Yeah, I think they're going to win. And let me tell you, this is the best Braun Breaker has ever been out of the ring. The best character work he's ever done. Baron has always been great. Baron Corbin is an underrated comedic actor.
GOAT.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. And this segment was so good. Just the awkwardness between them. And you know that I've kind of been always like meh on Braun Breaker. Like now I'm like, no, I love this pairing.
I like him, but I like him because of Baron. Yeah. But I really enjoy him tonight. And that is just, you've been doing this podcast with me for the entire Braun Breaker era. Those are just not words that I say. But you know, I'm a huge Baron Corbin fan. I always admitted it. In this household, we stand Baron Corbin. Yes. So I really love what he's bringing out in Braun here.
And this is MDB 999 and Alicia A are saying this is why Los Lobos Locos had to go to the main roster.
We can't have this many wolves.
Can't have 2 wolves.
Like these are pack animals that will go at it. So now we have our new wolves. Like, it's gonna be
the
great.
Wolf dogs.
But these are the Los Lobos Perros. Oh my God, what was the other name that he said? The wild horse or something like that?
Oh, the wild boars.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. It's the wolf dogs.
Wolf
It's staying
dogs.
the wolf dogs. Wolf dogs forever. But shout out to them for making it work, because you know what really has worked here is like from the second that Baron approached Braun, while you look at it and you go, this feels random, but it works. Like it doesn't even feel
So
random.
good.
It just works. It's been so good. I wonder who came up with it, because I would have not in my brain put these two together. But now I just absolutely love it, and I hope it's something that continues.
Yeah, it reminds me, like, it's not the same, but kind of like the American Alpha vibes when Jordan and Gable got together
Right,
back in 2015. Yeah,
right, right.
similar. Like their awkwardness together just makes it super charming.
And if this, oh no, I can't say what I was gonna say because then Glenn will yell at me.
No. Say what you're gonna
Because
say.
I yelled at you for selling out. But I was gonna say, what if this is what gets Baron Corbin finally a championship, even if it's a tag championship?
Ooh, yeah. No, we
But
can't.
then he has to win in front of D'Angelo's, and I don't know that I can get behind that. You know?
Yeah,
Oh, we
maybe
didn't
they're
see
gonna get
it.
called up Mania
We
week.
didn't see Scripps and the boys.
Scripps is behind the scenes
It
making
will be
moves.
Los Lobos Calles. Los Lobos Barrio. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Then we had Chase U out there versus the LWO. Chase U
With
losing.
Selena Vega.
Yeah, Zelina. Good to see Zelina.
I loved her reaction in NXT. She came home.
Yes. We didn't see what JC Jane's working on still.
Yeah, NXT Anonymous. If you're gonna be a creep, be a good creep, because I couldn't understand what was going on there.
But she made a friend after that I think she was asking out.
Yeah, but this match was great. I actually didn't know which way it was gonna go, but I'm glad to see LWO continue, because I think LWO. I think they're going. Are they going against? Who are they going against? Is it Braun and Baron, or the Wolf Dogs, or are they going against Mello and Trick? Oh, they're Mello and Trick. They're Mello and Trick.
So they're losing.
I think that's gonna be a banger, but it's gonna be a banger.
Yeah. I'm curious what JC is up to. We're gonna find out soon enough.
We'll see.
I hope Andre Chase didn't bet on this match, thinking that this was going to make it all back.
We need to take all capabilities of him to gamble or be involving money. What? How much do you think he owes JBL? Does he pay JBL the rent for the college? Maybe that's why JBL is out there trying to find his money.
Andre Chase is probably sleeping on the Chase U couch right now. Just can't afford rent on that JBL condo. So LWO won. This was a really good match, though. Really enjoyable.
I love seeing. I wish they would present LWO in the main roster the way they're presenting NXT.
Yeah. Then we had Dijak versus Trey Bearhill, and Joe Casey was on commentary.
With the old jacket, the WWF commentary jacket, and
so good.
Before we get into what I really want to talk about, but when he got up, I think I heard not Booker T. Somebody said, "Oh no, our broadcast partner has left the desk," and I was like, "He's not your broadcast partner." It popped me. But can we talk about why that man came out screaming like that?
Sure.
Why?
I don't know.
He sounded like Sting, Glenn.
So during this
Did
match,
it disturb you? You don't want to talk about that entrance? I was in tears laughing. I don't know why I found it so entertaining. Maybe it was the scream. I don't know. I want to walk into every room tomorrow screaming like that.
Okay, so Dijak beat Bearhill in this match, and then Joe Gacy was getting in Dijak's face ahead of this, but then Gacy hit him after, and then Lexis King came out of there and attacked Bearhill.
This felt very AEW-ish with everybody like attacking everybody.
Yeah, but the lights didn't go off first.
The lights did go off. Didn't they?
Did they? I don't think they did.
Show the lights did go off. I can't remember for what it was. But yeah, I mean, as soon as Joe Gacy was sitting out there, we knew he had some other intentions, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. But I respected the old school commentary, and like that Best, I didn't hear him. I couldn't hear what he was saying, honestly.
So before this match, though, we got to see some people we haven't seen for
How
6
happy
weeks
were you?
now. I'm very happy. Von Wagner and Robert Stone have figured out joint custody for Von Wagner's kids. No, they haven't. I wish they have, but I'm in my head. That's what happened. And they were backstage and they got into it over the Heritage Cup with
Von Wagner was me trying to figure out the rules of these matches every time that they try to explain them. I respect that. Like, he really felt like a lot of the viewers going, wait, what? How do you win a match? He was so funny.
Noam Dar and Oro Mensah tried to explain it. And
but they left everybody the same. But Von Wagner was very relatable here. It was funny. So I gotta beat you twice. 6 times. It was so funny.
This was good. So their Heritage Cup match, I'm sure, is going to be a lot of fun.
Were you happy to see Von Wagner?
Yes. I hope the kids are ringside next week.
Do you think the spaghetti making got better? Like, do you think they're eating better now?
Maybe they should get that pizza oven.
Maybe I should get a spaghetti maker. Is there such thing?
There are they're pasta makers. You can make all sorts of pasta. And what's funny about it, Issa, is the pasta maker, you put the dough in, but then you have shapes like the Play-Doh factory. Like, you put in different shapes for different types of pasta.
I'm not trying to do all that. I just buy it done and like put it in the water. Like,
fresh pasta is very good.
Sure. It sounds very heavy on the tummy.
I mean, it's pasta. Okay, let me ask you this. Have you done any pasta alternatives?
No.
You never did the zucchini noodles or?
No. That's not okay.
Real. I've had edamame noodles. That's actually like pasta. It's pasta made from edamame flour. That's decent.
That's like buying a fake Louis Vuitton purse after you own a real one.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the sad thing that I've had twice in the last week.
Oh, God. What?
We had this recipe for cabbage steaks where it's like you cut up the cabbage and you season it and you bake it. And then we were eating it, and the way it comes apart, it was like fettuccine. It was like thick noodles, but it was pieces of cabbage. So now we've made that, and we've put like a cream sauce on it, and we just eat that like pasta. It's actually decent.
I like fettuccine. I only like spaghetti with like meat sauce and maybe meatball if I'm feeling
saucy.
Or lasagna. That's it. That's the only pizza.
Lasagna's good.
I'm sorry, pasta I'll eat.
Interesting. So wait, but regular spaghetti or angel hair or
the thin one?
Got it. I like farfalle. It's my favorite of the pastas. The little bow ties.
Why are you speaking in tongues?
Sometimes I also like the little wagon wheels.
I can't eat pasta. It's like my worst enemy because of my stomach condition. So it's very rare. Like when I do it, I am committing to knowing that I'm going to be very sick the next day. So I go all in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat. But I have like pasta is my favorite. And I have cut down on that a lot. Like even with my pizza, I can only have like thin crust because the dough, like those kind of things, like because I have, sorry to go into detail, but my stomach processing is delayed. So it doesn't process the food. So if I eat something that heavy, it's never going to process. It's just going to sit there.
Yeah.
So that's why I found like even when I do the angel hair, it's kind of rough. But yeah, pasta is not my friend right now. Thin crust pizza I can do, and you know what I do? And everybody makes fun of me. I just peel the cheese off, and the dough just sits there. But now my friends know me. They know what I go through, so they don't even question me. They're like, if somebody new sitting with us, they'll be like, just let her be.
Why don't you just order one of those pizza bowls?
I don't think they taste the same.
Because it has to be cooked on the crust, then you don't eat.
Right, it's not the same. Like those pizza balls are made that way, and to me, it doesn't have the same flavor as peeling that cheese off a pizza.
Interesting.
But I have made it into a pizza ball between us. Now we're giving too many details to the people watching it, but I have peeled the cheese, put a bowl, and ate it that way. Anyways, waste of a pizza, but that's just how I can eat it, and I'm gonna stick to that.
For the low carb effect, I've gotten the palmini, the hearts of palm. Like slices, like lasagna. I make lasagna like that, and it's pretty good. It's a little briny, so it tastes kind of like it's got olives on it.
Right. I don't like olives.
But if you soak the slices in milk, or in my case, cashew milk at a time, it gets rid of the briny flavor, which is nice. But the texture is good. You know, so you're just kind of
Vegas, you're gonna cook for me.
We go to Tarantino's, which is an all vegan Italian place.
Oh, okay.
They have a zucchini roll-ups that actually are pretty. I was pretty impressed.
I never had zucchini in my life.
Well, they do it like pasta. They do it like
right.
Whatchamacallit, like you know what I'm talking about. Manicotti.
I love that this whole conversation started because of Von Wagner and
because we're thinking about Von Wagner and those kids, man.
Those pizza. No, it was spaghetti. I think I need to order a pizza. I cannot get the word pizza out of my mouth. Armando says you need your own food channel.
Oh
The
my
best
God.
blend.
I think about that all the time, but I watch a lot of food YouTube.
I don't at all.
I know what's funny is being vegan. I'll watch vegan channels and non-vegan channels because I just want to know about techniques. Or I
Right.
watched this in-depth video about all the different methods of deep frying, and it was fascinating.
I love that. I watch the only food channel that I watch is the Food Theory, and it's because I watch like the game theories and the film theories, and they put out some good content.
The craziest channel, which is run by an insane person, and I say that in the most loving way possible, is called the Technology Connections, the Technology Connections Hub. And I watched his thing about the sensor reheat button on your microwave.
Yeah.
Just him for an hour explaining that, and it changed my life. And then there's one about the dishwasher, about why you shouldn't use pods and you should use soap instead. Like that changed the way that we do our dishes.
Yeah.
But that
I know
dude
exactly
is
what
nuts.
channel you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that dude is nuts.
Absolutely.
But I love him. Like that was
I
an
have
instant
so many
Patreon
I
subscription.
watch so many random YouTubers like with so much random info, but some of the technology ones and some of the ones that explain those kind of things are some of my favorites.
Yeah, sensor reheat button is where it's at, people. It's on your microwave. Use it to reheat stuff.
Yeah.
It figures it out for you. Okay, so then we had JBL backstage with Josh
For
Briggs.
no reason.
Josh Briggs was asking him for advice. JBL was telling him he'd get a much nicer condo if he just pays him a little bit more. No. Why was JBL there?
Why is he there? Remember when they were doing like, oh, legends pick their favorites, and JBL pops up, and I'm like,
JBL
why?
looks like he was reading off the monitor.
And he still probably didn't say the right thing.
Yeah. JBL was there. It was fine.
Yeah.
So Kiana James and Izzy Dame came out for the number one contender women's
I thought
battle
she was
royal.
gonna win. I was so convinced. You know something? I didn't even realize Roxanne was in the match until I halfway through it.
Really? Well,
yeah. I thought she would get an entrance.
And then backstage, we saw Adriana Rizzo with Tony D and Stacks getting her pep talk.
It was a great pep talk. I love them. She's so good too. I really like her.
And they're cashing in and calling her Riz now. Like they're, capitalizing.
Yeah.
So this match was interesting. Like we said, no JC Jane, no Nikita Lyons. The woman that was in the unfortunate incident with Cora Jade, Ren Sinclair, got a spot tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was her NXT debut. She may have been on Level Up, but
Stevie was back.
Yeah, Stevie Turner was there.
Yeah.
And but wait, we didn't talk about this. I loved the backstage segment they had in the women's locker room with Ariana Grace giving that pep talk and Stevie Turner.
Yeah, and everybody left her alone.
Like Ariana Grace is so good. She is like low-key becoming one of the best things about NXT.
I really like her. I'm like watching her do that part. I was like, her charisma. And of course, we all know who her dad is. But my God, the talent runs in that family.
Yeah.
I just love her charisma. She cracks me up. And the Miss NXT gimmick is pretty genius.
It's brilliant. So this was good tonight. So, we could talk about Jakara Jackson got eliminated. I was surprised by that. Adriana Rizzo and Jada Parker. Stevie Turner got eliminated fourth. Still never pinned, though, on NXT television.
What a legend.
Yes. Brinley Reese. Oh, Brinley Reese backstage. Her fitness influencer positivity gimmick. Love that.
Yeah.
That also, like, of the newer things we've seen, like, that gimmick
work
is
and
money.
go a long way. Mm-hmm.
Although I want it to have a multi-level marketing component so bad.
It has to. You know what? She's the one who sold Kiana James that purse she comes out with. That's an MLM purse, and they're like, oh, if you reach this level, we'll personalize it and put your name on it because he has her initials on it, so she can sell the bags. There's an MLM for bags. I can't remember the name. Oh my God, I'm a huge anti-MLM YouTube. Anyway, but she can sell Kiana James a bag because I said on my stream today, Glenn, I swear to you, I said, why is she walking out with that MLM looking bag?
So Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice getting into it.
Yeah, man, like the dream is over. That man, because like Lola eliminated Elektra. Yeah. So Elektra waited for her ass to get eliminated and beat her up. I think think they'll make up. I think that's how.
Yeah, I hope
That's
so.
how
I
we
like
do
them
things.
together.
You know, like we Latinas, we're kind of like crazy, but then we'll be okay.
Gigi Dolan got eliminated. That was. I hope Gigi's getting a call up soon. Like, I just feel like they don't know what to do with her right now. Thea Hale though. Thea Hale
She looked
like
great
in this match.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
She was like
energy.
dominating. Okay, how mad were you that they gave Kalani a Kofi spot and it all happened during commercial?
I know. It was weird. So Kalani ended up on the announce table and then she got back in without touching the ground.
That made me so mad. Like, what's the point of having her do that spot and then completely miss it on live TV?
I know.
But she looked great in this match. Like, when it came down to the final four, I was like, any of these women could win and I will be okay with it.
Yeah. Tatum Paxley got eliminated. Blair Davenport, Carmen Petrovic, and Ariana Grace.
Blair Davenport killed a woman tonight. And then put her back in the ring dead. And then Ariana Grace eliminates her and starts taking credit for an elimination on somebody that was completely passed out. These are the little things. It's the little things that make me love NXT.
Yes. Izzy Dame. Then Lash Legend. That surprised me the most.
Good. She's so good.
I thought Lash was going to be the final four.
I know, but she grown on me so much.
And then before it went to the final four, Ren Sinclair. Ren Sinclair made this a long time for like this her debut NXT match.
Right. She got a couple of spots too.
Yeah. Final four were Kiana James, Connie Jordan, Roxanne Perez, and Fallon Henley.
Roxanne was just very low key until they got down to the final four. She wasn't doing anything. She wasn't getting any big spots during the Battle Royal.
You know what though? I'll say this, and this is why. I mean, like with Roxanne, I think her championship run was too soon, and I think that hurt her in a weird way. But
like Tiffany.
Yes, but when you saw Roxanne in the final four, it was a good reminder that she's one of the most polished wrestlers on the NXT roster.
So good, and I love that. As soon as she won the match, the first thing that the announcers reminding you of is she was never pinned to lose her title. You know, so I love that they're already presenting her as a big deal for Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah. And the crowd was great, very supportive during this. Justified, this is awesome chance.
Justified, this is awesome chance. Watch NXT on the USA Network right now.
A lot of great spots. I really enjoyed this match. Worth the overrun. Roxanne winning. I think, look, Roxanne and Lyra Valkyria are going to have an amazing match.
They're going to kill it. They're going to kill it. It's going to be fun. I actually don't know which way it'll go.
Yeah.
And you still have Lola Vice with her contract.
Yeah. And who knows what the Tatum Paxley factor is going to be in all of this. You know?
I really thought it was going to be Fallon Henley. But when I said, I'm sorry, Kiana James. But when I said Kiana James, I had not noticed that Roxanne was in the match yet. But they gave her that solo entrance. She came out first. I was like, she seems to be getting a push. You know what I mean? I was like, if they want just somebody like for Lyra, I think Kiana James would do great. She's really growing on me. I was thinking about the developmental factor of NXT, and I remember her, Kiana. There were characters that I was like, I'm not sure I care about them. And throughout the last few months, they have developed, and I really like them and care. It's great to see what a real developmental brand can do for a character.
This was super entertaining tonight. I could have watched this episode, could have gone on another hour. I was having such a good time, not only with that final match, but all the segments that we saw tonight.
We
with
had
the exception of Rich Holland.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't like Dijak and Bear Hill, but everything else I thought was excellent.
I liked Lexus King yelling at Trey Bearhill. You took this from me. You cost me my breakout win.
He's so good at being like the bad guy. Like he's so good at, he makes you want to hate him. And I like that. He gets it. He's good at his job. He knows that he's portrayed this douchey person that you're just not supposed to like, and he knows it. You know what? Like you see his face and you go like, oh God. But I give him props for being good at his job. He was never disinteresting before. Not trying to throw dicks, but he was never disinteresting.
No, he wasn't interesting in AEW at all. But now it's like, and I mean this in the most loving way possible. He's like the human equivalent of Sour Patch Kids chewing tobacco.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like they want to appeal to the nostalgia, so they made chewing tobacco Sour Patch Kid flavor. Like that's Lexus King. Like he's just obnoxious and like trashy.
Oh, we
And
forgot to talk about the segment backstage later on with Melo and Trick, where Trick told him he'll just wrestle twice.
I thought we did talk about that. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
no, I don't think we did.
It's been so much. Sorry, so
I
much
know.
has happened.
It was such a good show. But anyways, I don't know that Melo liked hearing Trick say that he'll become the first person to have the tag teams and the world championship. It's coming. The implosion of this team is coming, and it's gonna hurt in my heart, Glenn.
Yes, it's gonna be good though. Gonna be good. I'm excited.
Dream Realm in the chat that the Wolf Dogs was the best segment. I understood it.
Wolf Dogs was good. So that's NXT.
Fun
I'm gonna
show.
go take my mind off things so I don't order pizza because I'm like 10 days without doing bad food.
You're gonna have pizza now?
No, I'm not having pizza. No, because I'm like 10 days on this this kick. I mean,
don't do that.
no, you know what I'm having every morning, Issa? I get that Bible bread, that Ezekiel bread that's sprouted grains with the low sodium. Like I have one slice of that in the morning. That's my bread. And I have it with avocado and some pickled red onion on it.
Wow.
And a little
sounds gross.
Little hemp seed and black cumin seed.
I don't like any of the ingredients you just mentioned. So your breakfast.
Wait, you don't like pickled red onions?
No.
Oh, that's good. No, pickled.
I don't like pickle or onions. I like red dresses or red bottom shoes. Those are great.
Red bottom shoes. On the bottom, because that's where everyone sees. Anyhow, okay. That was NXT for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Issa's at NYC Diva. That's Diva with the 1. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein. Yes, baby ice. Former WWE superstar Ezekiel makes his own bread.
That made me laugh. Because that's what I thought about in my brain when you said it. Thank you,
God. And you know how I knew that I'd become like a grown-up is that I have the whole loaf of bread and I'm like, well, I'm not going to eat this before it goes bad. So when I get it, I break it up into smaller bags and put the rest in the freezer, and then take out like a small portion every couple days.
I guess I'm a food waster because I have thrown out bread. Because I tell you, I buy it fresh. So like, if it's like a little arm, I'm like, no, I'll go get another one. And it's so cheap here. Like, it's great.
It's bread. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Tune in tomorrow night for AEW coverage. We'll be back Friday for SmackDown. Have a great week, everyone. We'll catch you back next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast.
Bye.